Well, we got to bring in our next guest.
Oh, very excited this Saturday. I already bought it. You should too. Listen, there's some UFC cards out there, let's just be honest, aren't worth it. This one is from top to bottom. I don't know why he's the first fighter going in the main card, but, I get more upset about that stuff than he does. Fighting the 13-1 Peter Yan. It is our very own California kid.
Yeah.
California dad.
True.
Urijah Faber. Hey, buddy.
What's up, dude?
Tell me. I'm Jason Ross and I are here just laying down bets, getting ready. I'm doing all my pregame rituals. I get more nervous for these fights than you. You know that. How are you feeling going into Saturday?
Feel good, man. I mean, I'm still pretty heavy. I got my final cut today and tomorrow morning, so that's always the first battle is making that weight. But I feel good, man. I'm excited. It's going to be a tough fight, a good fight, and a lot at stake and a great card. So I'm pumped.
I've personally witnessed you going over to your sink at your house and literally drinking a teaspoon of water like every hour or something.
Wow. When
you were doing a weight cut. It's ridiculous. Anything like that this time, or is this far more comfortable?
No, I feel pretty good. I mean, the UFC PI has a whole process that they have you go through, and it's always the last part. It's the hard part. So that doesn't happen till the day of the weigh-in, like a few hours before the weigh-in, and that's where the uncomfortable part goes. But other than that, I'm chilling, man. Just relaxing.
Well, Urijah, what can you tell us about Peter Yan? What's this? What do you expect from him?
He's tough. He's ranked number 4 in the world. He's kind of like the guy they're trying to build up, and that's what you get when you come out of retirement after a couple of years. You get these the hot young prospects, and he's a high level striker. I mean, I guess we all are at this level, but that's his background primarily. Growing up, he was a boxer, and now he's a very well-rounded fighter, but isn't really afraid to go anywhere. But I think his main thing is throwing heavy punches.
Urijah Faber with us. The last guy you fought didn't respect your power, and he went to sleep very early. When you go in here, what do you think? Do you have, in your opinion, a strength over this guy? Is this just an even matchup? I don't want you to give away your fight plan, obviously, but what are you looking for in this fight that maybe you have an inch or two that he doesn't?
Well, I have the grappling background that's my basis, and so, of course, every fight starts standing, and I've been, a high-level striker for a lot of years now as well, but I think kind of the in-betweens of the fight game, I think, the fact that he is just young and feeling invincible is part of what could get him in trouble. If it goes to the ground, I feel like I do have a distinct advantage, but he knows what he's doing. He's not a stranger down there, but there's levels to this stuff, and I'm definitely higher level on the ground. So that's one thing that I think he knows I'll be looking for, and you can't force that kind of stuff because you're in a dangerous fight. You have to be able to fight everywhere. So I'll be looking for opportunities to capitalize there, though, for sure.
Yeah, and everything you're talking about, Urijah, sounds like experience, and you've got it, probably obviously way more than him. How much can you use that to your advantage?
Yeah, I think, obviously this will be my 46th fight, and experience is one thing, but just having a great night is another thing. So I'm looking to put my best fight together, and if that happens, I'll definitely be walking away with the win.
As somebody that's older than you, let's talk more about how old you are. Not only turning 40, but correct me if I'm wrong, were you a freshman at Lincoln when you were 14?
I'm not 100% sure, but probably.
Because that was the year this guy was born. And so I find just same as you remember when you were the youngest guy on the circuit now, and you were busting tables at Cafe Bernardo and all that.
Yeah.
Being an quote unquote elder statesman, is that weird? Or at the same time, Uriah, we grew up with guys like Liddell and Couture and those fellas going into their 40s. I'm assuming because you never eat a French fry in your life, you probably feel pretty damn good.
No, yeah, I feel really good, and yeah, those are the guys I was training with at the very beginning. They were all in their, late 30s, and then into late 40s. A lot of those guys started fighting. I'm not looking to stay around that long, that's for sure. But, age is a number, absolutely, especially when you take care of yourself and you know what you're doing.
Urijah Faber with us. So you came out of retirement. And let's be honest, you surprised a lot of people. You were a heavy underdog at Golden One Center when you won that last fight. So you go through, you win this fight. Do you expect, not do you want, do you expect a title shot in your next fight?
Yeah, absolutely. And, at this point, any fight could be my last one, just depending on how I feel, because I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing it for the challenge. I'm doing it, I was doing the last one for a birthday present to myself and just, enjoying the whole thing. So I have the ability to sit out and say, all right, if you guys want me to fight, I'll put it for the big stakes and I'll do it. And otherwise I could just hang out. So, I'll be definitely a lot closer. And that's one of the reasons why I accepted this fight when there's not a whole lot, to gain fighting a young guy that not too many guys know his name. He's not like a household name, right, at least here in America. And so, that's why you take these risky fights. I'm not just fighting to get in there and get in a fight. You can do that any day. This is getting you one step closer to the pinnacle of the sport, which is being the champion.
Last thing for you, does being a dad change that thought process at all going into whether or not you take a fight?
I've never had trouble being motivated, but it definitely gives you a different perspective on things and a new kind of motivation and new type of responsibility. So, it's definitely a big motivator having the baby at home and it's a good little life hack, giving you some new energy and new perspective.
Well, unlike when I was a new dad, Faber's not sitting at home eating Cheetos and getting fat. He's got about 1,700,000 businesses going on at the same time. So, but you're in your hometown. You're on the air in Sacramento. There's a lot of different things we could talk about. But as we wrap up, Urijah, what is it on the side? I assume it's still the gym that's motivating you the most outside the octagon as far as business and having fun?
I'm always about real estate. That's kind of what I want to get into in the next phase of things. And I've been doing a little bit of that. The gym, of course, is part of that. I've got the gyms, UFC gym in Rockland and the UFC gym in Folsom, and then my, Ultimate Fitness right there in East Sac. But, I've also been working on some entertainment stuff. We just recently sold our first movie, with our production company. It was a feature film and that's always fun. And then of course staying in the fight game, mentoring these next generation of guys and getting Sacramento in shape and having fun.
All right.
That's awesome.
UltimateFitness.com. Get there and roll around with some of the best in the business. Urijah's invested back in the community, and you have a chance to actually train and work out and hang out with some of the best in the business. Buddy, we always appreciate you, and I'll do my customary pregame vomiting on Saturday, and then you go out and kick ass, and we'll talk Saturday night.
All right, guys. And then check out shopalphamale.com. We've got a couple of shirts to support and new hoodies, so at shopalphamale.com, you can grab some stuff.
Nice. Thanks, Urijah. Good luck this weekend for sure. Urijah Faber.
The Drive.